know, I'm just going to run this topic by you guys right quick. I want to see if you guys have ever experienced this or have ever noticed this or the patterns the way I have. But what I've come to realize about life, and I think I spoke about this on a brief note at least one time in a video at least, but do not expect to get blessed to a high extent, like where you probably should be blessed, if you have enemies in your life. The enemies could be your family. The enemies could be friends. The enemies could be your spouse. The enemies could be anybody. It might not even be any of those. But the enemies in general. Don't expect to get blessed. Even you as a 9-to-5 worker, if you go to your job and you have enemies at the workplace, bro, it's so hard to be blessed if you're around toxic people. If you look at anyone's stories, no one's ever gotten blessed at their 9-to-5, like literally being at their 9-to-5. It always happened from them being at a 9-to-5 and then leaving there, striving for better, not around the enemy. So there's patterns I noticed even in my own life. That is true. Like, it works this way. So when you're around the enemy, a lot of the time you don't even notice it. Especially in the beginning stages and phases of your life. Of becoming an adult or a young adult or whatever. But what has to happen is a separation phase between you and the enemies, whoever it might be. Once that separation phase occurs, you're now in the process of building Lego blocks up. So you're building yourself up, and that's when you will get blessed. You'll never get blessed when you're around the enemy or they're anywhere close. It's going to happen and take place when you make that separation and you go your separate way, doing your own thing. God will never bless you when you're in the presence of the enemy, because from what I've noticed in my own patterns of life, bro, at 17, 18 years old, I got blessed financially with money in a big way. And did I keep it? No, but I still got blessed. And guess what? Just as fast as it come, it left just as quick. It took a little bit of time, but it happened. Had it for a little bit and it left. I was around the enemies at this time. I got stolen from so-called best friends. Literally. Not a whole bunch of them, but it happened. And you start to figure out who's real, who's not, who's the enemy, who's not. And that's why God does not necessarily want to bless you when you're around the enemy, bro, because of that. Of stuff like that. It could be a different situation, different ways, but that's why it's so true. And it wasn't even my real blessings. It was like a false start. It was like a false blessing. It felt great, but then it left. It's almost like he did that to show you who was around you, because that's what had to happen to expose the enemy. So you feel blessed, good things are happening, but all of a sudden, the worst things start happening. It was even worse before anything even occurred or came. So that will happen to get yourself out of those situations, to now veer off on your own life and adventure, to build yourself up, and then to be blessed in the way you're supposed to be blessed in. Makes sense, doesn't it? 100%. We can look back now and just laugh at the enemies, because they're all doing not so great. And it's not even that we want them to be doing bad. It's just what's happening. You probably got what you deserved. You probably shouldn't have done the shit that you've done. And like, even in the situations, bro, I was giving to these people. I was giving to them to begin with. They got too greedy and took way too much. Way too much. They were given free stuff to begin with. I carried the team on my back to begin with. And it still happened. That's where it crosses the line. Okay. Okay. But it just goes to show why God will never truly, truly, truly bless you when you are around the enemy. It'll never happen. Not your real blessing. Even if you think you are, like I thought I was. It's not it. It's a false start. And it had to happen for your greatest interest. Because it exposes the character of the people around you. You see the truth. It unfolds in front of your own two eyes. And then you veer off because that's where you're supposed to be. That's where God has led you away from everything you should have been around. That's where I was at. And it makes perfect sense. It really does. It makes perfect sense. It's not like, oh my God, like, bro, it should be that way. It should be the way that it really is. Sometimes people say, oh my God, I wish it wasn't this way, but this is the way it really should be. We all need to see the truth in different situations in our lives. And sometimes, man, people was even good in the past and they changed for the worst. I've had people that I was like this with before, so close. And they just changed into not so good of people. And it happens. And it's sad. Because you chose strength. You chose to fight. I've been fighting ever since I had a new lease of motivation in my life. I was fighting ever since then, bro, and I did not stop. Some people don't care enough to fight. They just want to ease your life, relax more, this more, that more. I chose to fight for what's right. I fight for me. I fight for my health. I fight for my family. I fight for my people. There's so many things I fight for. How could I possibly not? I'm a fighter at heart. It was in me to fight. I've bounced people's heads off pavement before for my friends. I fought two guys at once before for my friends. I've done many things before for my friends, for my people, because it's in me to be this way. If I know somebody, if I'm close to somebody, if I have a connection with somebody, a friendship, something to do with family, someone you care about, if I see somebody else trying to harm them, it is instinctually hardwired in myself to protect them, whether they're a male or a female, especially a female, because the more helpless they are, the more you get a little bit crazy. You want to protect these people. Or else something bad might happen. I've been in a situation before in front of a crowd of people. There was about 75 people. There wasn't quite 100. There was more than 50. That's what I'm saying. They were all on ATVs. We drove to this place so one of my friends could fight some other guy from this community, because my friend at the time and his girl had a little altercation with some other guy that tried to put his hands on her when he was drunk at a party. My friend didn't like it. None of us liked it, especially not him. He was going crazy. He wanted to fight him, so we took a carload of people. We fit one extra person there, so there were 6 of us in a car. We drove to this place. There was literally 75 fucking people, and there were 6 of us. I stood in front of the whole pack. I just stood there and I was ready for anything. I was bouncing up and down. I was hyped. Like, I wasn't completely just like looking at everyone bouncing up and down, but like I was just like staring at everything and everybody, and I was just ready for whatever. Because like their community and my community at the time had this rivalry going on. It was Tyne Valley versus Tignish. Where I come from, that's what it was at the time. And that's what it was. And there was many situations before in the past where these types of people jump people, boot fuck people, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I was ready for whatever. That was the situation we were in, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. My friend and this guy fought, but nothing else happened. No one jumped nobody. And it was what it was. This guy got on top of my friend during the fight. I went in, grabbed his back, and threw him off. This guy was 2 years older than me, too. The guy that was fighting my friend was 2 years older than me. And that's what I did. Threw him off like a pillow. No one did nothing. My friend also got on top of this guy at one point in the fight. And someone else from their side came in and threw off my friend. It was even. They were on pavement. It should have happened. But I'm not going to pull my friend off for this guy putting his hands on his woman. So I would have let him beat him up for a bit in the pavement, but like, it would get to a certain point if someone's head's getting literally bashed into the pavement and seriously hurt, you'd pull anybody off. You can't see that. But yeah, the whole point here is I would do anything for the people that I care about. I was always this way. I'll be this way to the day I die. I get super defensive. I get crazy at those points, even crazier than if someone's coming at me. I don't even get that crazy because I feel the need. I feel like I can, what I'm saying is I feel like I can protect myself. So I get super defensive when I feel someone else that I care about is in danger, instinctually. Like the amount of power and force and ferociousness I feel in those moments cannot even be explained. I genuinely feel I shouldn't, there's probably certain things I shouldn't say on YouTube, but like, serious damage very fast is what I'm saying. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get demonetized or nothing like that, but you guys get the point. And yeah, it's important, bro, to not be with the enemy. If you know you are the bro, I know some people, I've done many calls, I've experienced many things, many stories. What blows my mind is that there's some people that know they are in enemy territory and they choose to stay there. And that blows my mind. Anytime I ever knew I was not in the right situation, I always left. I never stood where I knew things were not good for long. Ever. And it blows my mind how people can actually stay in those situations and expect life to be good, because it's never going to be good. And it's not even going to be good as soon as you leave, because after you leave, you got to build yourself up in a different way than you were before, because you were fooled, you were tricked. And you should be somewhere else completely and entirely different than the place you were in with whoever you were around. And this is just what I come to know over my years. So, choose to be blessed or choose to be cursed. The choice is yours. We don't have to do anything we don't want to do. That's the beautiful thing about life. We have freedom. We have a choice. There's some people, bro, that I've even talked to that just the way they talk, it's like they don't believe in their own self. They don't believe in their own freedom. They don't believe that they can completely and utterly change their own lives and make their own decisions. They feel like they're stuck in certain situations, and it's just not the truth. If that was the truth, I would have been stuck in certain situations. Oh, this is just where I come from. This is just where I've been. It's just the people I've got. It was my deck of cards I've been handed. It's just, no. When anything's weird, when anything's not right, I make the right decision for myself to not be surrounded by the enemies. You can't. It's going to curse your life. It's going to drive you nuts. There's nothing worse than being surrounded by unworthy and untrustworthy people. There's nothing worse. They will ultimately destroy your life. There's nothing you can do. Say goodbye to your blessings. Because they're not going to come until you leave. And that's what more people need to understand. My hands is sweating from this video, bro. Just talking about all those fighting scenes and everything else. It just brought everything back, and I even put myself in that moment of feeling the feelings of seeing with your own two eyes, your own people being in danger and you defending your people. It's a crazy feeling that I don't know how many people have experienced, but I've experienced it many times. And like I said, the power and force you feel from within at those times is something damn near supernatural. It's crazy. And the things I do and have done and will do for my people is what a lot of people won't do. It's just in me to be that way. I can't explain it. I get super involved. When there's fights going on, I get super involved. I don't cause unnecessary drama, but I'm right there like a guard dog. Guard dogs wait for the specific moment to lash out. They're just waiting. As soon as they sense that bit of danger, they're gone. They're going to take that person. They're going to take their arm. They're going to take their neck. They're going to do whatever it takes to stop the danger. And that's exactly how I am, because I cannot stand to see the people I care about getting harmed. It does something to my brain that I can't let happen. So, yeah. But anyway, that's a bit of a different situation, but I don't know how we even led into that, just from analogies and stuff, but yeah. Don't expect to even come close to getting blessed the way you definitely could if you're going to keep yourself in a position around people who's not going to be in your life, because they are the enemy. They're not supposed to be in your life. They're not supposed to be. God will do certain things to show you this, like he showed me. What other evidence do you need than some of your so-called best mates stealing from you? And not just a little bit. A lot. Like a lot. And not only doing that. Flaunting it to some of your other friends as well. Flaunting the fact that they're stealing from you to other people you know, and then they came and told you. And it's like, damn. That's some next level betrayal, bro. And I've never explained it this way on my channel, but that actually happened. That's some next level betrayal. And what other evidence do you need besides that? That's when a lot of people started going their own ways, and a lot changed after that, bro. A lot of people was close before that, and that changed a lot of things. And for the better, obviously, for the better. And then you start to get closer to where you're supposed to be, and you actually get blessed, and they could end up very cursed. Karma's a bitch. And it comes right back around full circle, so be prepared for that. That's why I suggest doing the right things in life, being an honest person, being a good person, doing what you're supposed to do. Work hard, say your prayers, do all the right things that you can possibly do to bless yourself, and it will happen. But it never will if you stay around cursed folks. And that's a fact. It is proof. We have lived it, we have been there, we've done it, we've seen it all. It's impossible to be blessed around cursed folks. Even if your family's cursed, impossible. You have to get away from everybody, bro. You gotta cleanse yourself and your energy and become the person you're supposed to be on earth. That's how you get blessed.